As we grow older, something shifts. We begin asking ourselves deeper questions, not just about the world, but about who we really are. We stop rushing past the quiet parts of our story and start wondering, why have I seen my own body through so many different lenses? Why has one single part of me, my breasts, and more specifically, my nipples, carried so many meanings throughout my life? That's what we're exploring today. You see, the female nipple holds two very different, yet equally powerful roles: intimacy and eroticism. On one hand, it's a symbol of love, care, and closeness, a bridge between hearts. On the other, it's a source of desire, pleasure, and even taboo. And here's the fascinating part. These roles aren't in conflict. They live side by side, shaping the way women experience themselves, their relationships, and their emotions. So let me ask you, have you ever felt caught between these two meanings? Have you ever wondered how they've shaped the way you feel about yourself and how others see you? Stay with me, because understanding this duality isn't just enlightening, it's freeing, and it just might change the way you see your body forever. Asterisk the meaning of the nipple in intimacy. When you think back, some of the earliest experiences involving your chest had nothing to do with desire. They were about connection. A baby nestled against your chest, tiny hands grasping, eyes closed, feeling safe in your warmth. Or even just a long, comforting hug with someone you loved, where your body became sheltered on those moments. The nipple was not erotic, it was sacred, a symbol of nourishment, comfort, and profound connection. Science backs this up, too. During breastfeeding, the body releases a hormone called oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. It doesn't just help with milk flow, it floods you with feelings of trust and closeness, forging a neurological bond between you and the baby. And even beyond motherhood, that sense of intimacy lingers. Think about the last time someone held you close, not with passion, but with care, and how grounding that felt. So I want to ask you, have you ever stopped to see your own body, and this part of you, through that lens? Not as something to perform with, but as something that has quietly carried love and connection your whole life. Because it has, and it still does. Asterisk the meaning of the nipple in eroticism. But as life moves forward, something shifts. The same part of the body that once felt purely nurturing begins to take on another meaning, one that's just as natural. Desire. For many women, especially in youth and early adulthood, the nipple becomes a center of attraction and arousal. Romantic partners notice it, touch it, and suddenly this area that once symbolized care now awakens something different. Excitement, longing, even passion. And this isn't just emotional, it's biological. Neurological studies show that the nerves in the nipple connect directly to the somatosensory cortex, the same region of the brain that lights up during genital stimulation. In other words, the nipple is quite literally wired for pleasure, but beyond science, there's something deeply human about this shift. Think about the first time someone touched you there in a way that made your breath catch, the way a single, intentional caress could make you feel desired, not just seen, but wanted. So here's my question for you. Have you given yourself permission to embrace both sides of what this part of you can feel? Not just as a giver of care, but as a source of your own joy and excitement, because you deserve to experience it all. Asterisk the conflict between intimacy and eroticism. And here's where it gets complicated and fascinating. Many women feel caught between these two meanings, as if they're supposed to choose one over the other. You've used your chest to nurture life. You've seen your breasts change through weight gain, pregnancy, menopause, and time. You've also felt the weight of how the world looks at you, how media, partners, and even strangers have sexualized your body, often without your consent. That tension between intimacy and eroticism can create a quiet confusion. One moment it feels like your body is fully yours, the next it feels like it belongs to someone else's gaze. And if you never had the language or freedom to explore these feelings on your own terms, it's easy to feel disconnected from yourself. Have you ever felt this? Wanting closeness but not sexual touch? Or enjoying erotic pleasure but then feeling guilty or hesitant about it? You're not alone. That confusion lives quietly in many relationships, but it doesn't have to. You were allowed to feel both tender and desired, to hold space for both roles, without apology, because the truth is, your body was never meant to fit neatly into just one box. It was made to hold both. And honoring that complexity is how you start to feel whole again. Asterisk how aging and hormones change sensitivity as we age. Our bodies evolve, and that includes how we experience touch, especially on the chest. Hormones shift during pregnancy, breastfeeding, menopause, and even through the natural rhythms of life. And those changes can make the nipple feel more sensitive in some moments, and less in others. Some women notice that what once felt electric now feels muted. Others discover new areas of sensitivity they never noticed before. And yet, instead of embracing these shifts as part of life's journey, many of us see them as a loss. Have you ever thought, why don't I feel the way I used to? Did I lose something? Am I broken? But here's the truth. Nothing about you is broken. What's changed is the context, your body responding to the seasons it's in now. When you let go of comparing yourself to who you were at 20 or 30, you open yourself to discovering what feels good today. And that discovery can bring a whole new kind of connection, not just to someone else, but to yourself. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to meet your body exactly as it is now, without judgment, and simply listen? You might be surprised by what it tells you. Intimacy versus eroticism. Understanding the difference. So what really is the difference between intimacy and eroticism? Understanding this can change everything about how you see your body and how you experience touch. Intimacy is about feeling safe, seen, and accepted. It's the kind of touch that whispers, I'm here with you, I cherish you, I see you. It doesn't necessarily lead to sex, and it doesn't have to, because it feeds the soul in a way that goes beyond the physical. Have you ever felt someone hold you not out of desire, but out of deep care, and it stayed with you long after? That's intimacy. Eroticism, on the other hand, is about energy, excitement, and desire. It can be powerful, affirming, and deeply satisfying when it's built on trust. The problem is, too often we're taught to see eroticism as something fast, visual, and performative, when in reality, for many women, it begins in the mind. It's about emotional connection first, and when that foundation is strong, the body can respond in ways that surprise you, even after years of disconnection. So here's something to reflect on. What kind of touch makes you feel truly alive? And what would happen if you allowed yourself to experience both without guilt, without pressure, just as you are? The role of communication in healing and connection. This is where communication comes in, and it can be transformative. So many couples struggle in silence. One partner reaches for physical closeness while the other pulls away. Misunderstandings grow and both feel unseen. But often, the issue isn't a lack of desire, it's a lack of context and a lack of words. Have you ever thought, I wish they just knew what I needed without me having to say it? But the truth is, nobody can read your mind. And speaking your needs is not selfish, it's a gift to both of you. For women, this might sound like, I want to be held first, or this part of my body feels different now. For men, it might mean learning to listen without taking it personally, slowing down, and asking, what feels good to you now? These conversations can feel awkward at first, but they are the key to building a foundation of respect, curiosity, and trust. Because when intimacy and eroticism are not treated as competing forces but as connected, the entire dynamic can change. So what would it look like for you to open that dialogue, to let your voice and your body finally feel heard? Aging and emotional freedom. And now, let's talk about aging, because it adds another beautiful layer to this story. As the body changes, so does sensitivity. Some women discover new areas of responsiveness they never noticed before. Others feel less sensation in places that once lit up easily. And here's the truth. That's not a loss, it's a transition. Like every season of life, this one carries its own kind of beauty, if you allow yourself to see it. For many women, aging brings an unexpected gift, emotional freedom. You stop performing for the outside world. You stop trying to meet someone else's expectations of what your body should feel or look like. And instead, you start asking yourself, what feels true for me now? That question, more than any magazine tip or social media trend, is where real liberation begins. So take a moment and reflect. How might your body surprise you now if you stopped comparing it to who you used to be and started listening to who you are today? Because you're not less than you were. You're more whole, more honest, more free. The nipple as a symbol of wholeness. So, what does all of this mean for the way we see our bodies and ourselves? The nipple, in all its complexity, becomes more than just a body part. It's a symbol of everything you've lived through. It's where love and longing meet, where your past intersects with your present, where nurturing and desire live side by side without needing to cancel each other out. You can feel proud of how your body once nourished life, and still enjoy the way it responds to a lover's touch. You can cherish the tenderness of an embrace, and still feel a spark of excitement when that same place is touched differently in a moment of passion. This duality doesn't make you complicated, it makes you whole. So let me ask you, what would it feel like to stop judging these feelings as contradictions and start seeing them as parts of the same beautiful story? Your body has carried so much care, pleasure, pain, connection, and when you finally embrace all of it, you stop seeing yourself as divided. Instead, you see yourself for what you really are. Complete honoring the stories your body holds theirs. One more layer to this journey, and it might be the most important of all. Your body, including your breasts and your nipples, is not just skin and nerves. It's a living record of your life. Every scar, every change, every sensation, they all tell a story. Don't think about it. Your body has been with you through every chapter. It has felt the weight of a baby on your chest, the warmth of a lover's hand, the ache of loss, the joy of connection. Even if you've ignored it at times, it has always carried you forward. And yet, so many of us treat our bodies like strangers, criticizing, hiding, wishing they were different. But what if instead you started treating your body like an old friend, someone who has been with you through everything, who deserves your care and your gratitude? When you honor the stories your body holds, you begin to heal not just physically, but emotionally. So ask yourself, what story does your body want you to hear today? And are you willing to listen with kindness, with patience, with love, asterisk. So here's what I hope you take away from this. Your body, every part of it is not just functional or decorative. It's alive with meaning. Your nipples, your chest, your skin, they've carried love, longing, care, and connection through every stage of your life. They are not just about motherhood, not just about desire. They are about you. You don't have to choose between intimacy and eroticism. You don't have to fit someone else's idea of what you should feel or how you should respond. Because you're not broken, you're whole. And you always have been. If this video gave you something to think about, if it helped you see yourself or your partner in a new way, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts, your questions, or just your story. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. Not for me, but for you, to stay connected to a space where your story, your body, and your growth are honored and seen. We're building this community one thoughtful conversation at a time, and it would mean the world to have you here with us.